On this amazing episode of UTR, we're back in Oscoda on the Sunrise side for a towny taco tradition, some bona fide ballet, and a fishing tale that's true. We'll even boast about the sugar sand beaches. Get ready to explore the cool people, places, and things that make Oscoda your next destination.
A visit to the Stahls Auto Collection will take you back to a time when cars were more than just a way to get around. A fantastic assortment of gas pumps, neon signs, and automated music machines dating back 150 years that must be seen and heard. Info at stahlsauto.com.
I've been around the world, but there's one place I keep coming back to. And the more I explore, the more I realize it's the place to be. I'm Tom Dalton, and this is Under the Radar, Michigan.
Now, if you've seen our other shows on Oscoda, you probably have heard my city slogan, you're supposed to go to Oscoda. But if you haven't been here yet, stick around, because by the end of this show, I think I know where you're going to go.
And that's because Oscoda is a Michigan Sunrise side sensation. It's a great four-season destination that sits right on the beautiful shores of Lake Huron. The wonderfully walkable downtown has lots of little interesting shops and comfy places to eat. And they even have a beautiful white sand sunbathing beach and impressive pier right in town. The downtown also has an awesome, historic, and restored theater, iconic ice cream parlor, and a hip little coffee and sandwich shop. Oh, and the people are so friendly, you'll feel like you know them before you even meet them. And if you're looking for a comfy and colorful place to stay right on the water, you'll find lots. Lake access on the Sunrise side is sensational. Now, if you watched our last Oscoda adventure, you know that we had a really good meal at the Red Fork, a healthy and historic hike at Lumberman's Monument, and some homemade hand-dipped donuts at Cedar Lake Grocery. We even went to the moon and back, got enlightened, and met little Deb right in town. Well, this time we've got 4 more fascinating finds for you to frequent when you get here. So get ready, get set, let's all go to Oscoda. And just a quick reminder, Oscoda is located on Michigan's beautiful Sunrise side, just 20 minutes due north of Tawas on US 23. You can't miss it. They've got signs and everything.
You know, every town has that little place that all the locals love, and Oscoda is no exception.
Because for years and years, Desi's has been the wonderful little eatery and watering hole in the wall where folks around here went to connect, share, and consume some of the best tacos this side of the state. And to say this place is a local landmark wouldn't be much of a stretch, because the people around here absolutely love it. Yep, Desi's is one of those magical little places that really reflects the mindset, heartbeat, and appetite of the community. So to make sure I sufficiently steep myself in this towny tradition, I sat down with head magician Tim Kellstrom.
I gotta tell you, Tim, this place has more up north mojo than any place I've ever been in my life. I mean, the art and the artifacts and the things, you could come in here 1,000 times and still not see everything.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, well, I haven't seen everything, and I work here every day. So.
Oh, yeah, well, you've got to be a superhero in this community for saving this place.
Well, you know, it really wasn't that we saved it. The history of Desi's, you know, Desi started in '58. He did 30 years. And then Tim, Vicky, and Barry Gianetti came in, kept it going, enhanced it. And then they just had run their course. They definitely weren't going to bail on the community. So we didn't save it. We just are the next generation to make it happen. So we're very excited about that opportunity.
Well, you're carrying on a legacy.
Absolutely.
This place is iconic. It's like I said, you walk in here, it's just like your shoulders drop. you get a sudsy beverage, and all of a sudden you know you're up north.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, we have the campground down the road. That's a huge draw. For the locals, it's just part of their childhood, part of their traditions. At Christmas, the whole place is decorated. People come in from Thanksgiving to Christmas. You got to see it. It's just really neat. We're very honored just to be a part of it. We are all locals, my wife and Missy, the other owner. So it's just part of our childhood also.
Now, what's the secret to a good taco?
Homemade shell. Homemade shell is we fry our own shells. I think atmosphere helps everything, so.
Oh, yeah. When I go out to eat, there's three things. It's service, food, and atmosphere. And the atmosphere here, like I said, is just incredible. Well, how's that make you feel when multiple generations come in here and this has been a part of their life? People probably got engaged here. They probably, gotten a tummy ache from too much food here.
Absolutely.
That's what I plan to do.
Yeah.
But it's such a great thing to carry on that tradition.
We have 7 kids, my wife and I.
Wait a minute. Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We're helping the school district. No, it's family's everything, and Desi's is a family. The customers are family, and then to hear the traditions, it gives you goosebumps. When you hear my grandparents used to take me here, we come up every September for fishing, or those things, camping at Old Orchard Campground. It's totally about family and only half about food here.
Yeah, what do you think Desi'd say if he could walk in right now and see what you...
I really would love to know. I really would. He started just over here. He was selling bait. 1958, he's selling bait. And as the story goes, the guys at 5 o'clock in the morning said, hey, make me some breakfast. So he literally took his own stove and his own refrigerator, brought it over here, started cooking the guys breakfast in 1958. 66 years later, here we sit. I hope his family came in this summer. They were very appreciative of us. We love the history of Desi's, and it's everything to us, capturing that, and then hopefully putting our stamp on it moving forward.
Yeah, and speaking of generations, I mean, you don't even the wait staff. Like, there's a Lucy.
Oh yeah, everyone knows Lucy. Lucy, I think she waited tables here for 40 years.
She's
huge.
She
came in. She came in to support. It's so cool. Everyone knew Lucy. She's as much Desi as is Desi.
The fact that you worked someplace for 40 years and you want to go back, that says something about where you work.
I hope it does. So we embrace that tradition, and Lucy is special. She's definitely special.
I love this side. I love the sunrise side because the lake is so accessible. You can stretch out. It's not too crowded.
You're right.
It's like it's all for one and one for all over here.
Absolutely. Very simple people, simple living. Hopefully, some great traditional values. That is definitely how we see Oscoda.
And a good taco.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, after some Tim time, it was time for Tom to partake in some tantalizing tacos, not to mention the rest of their amazing menu. And everyone here was fun, friendly, and made us feel right at home. Traditions come in all shapes, tastes, and sizes, and this little place tasted great and shaped up to be one of the coziest collections of community I've ever encountered. So, if a tasty, toasty taco is in your future, try consuming it in this cool place called Desi's. I guarantee that before you finish, you'll be one of the gang. Now, everyone knows that some of the best cities in the world for the sophisticated study and instruction of ballet are New York, London, Paris, and Oscoda.
Oscoda? Wait, what?
Well, you heard, and the tips of your toes are about to spin right, because 2 of the world's preeminent purveyors of this artful endeavor have an awesome academy right here at our own Oscoda, Michigan. Yep, when it comes to ballet, Scott Heinrich and Giuseppe Canale have the chops to choose any place on the planet to set up shop. And they chose us. Extreme bonus. So before the next session starts here at the Northeast Academy of Dance, I chose to sit down with the guys and find out how it all happened.
How did you guys meet?
We met, I I remember I finished up college. I finished up in 3.5 years because I found dance at a very late stage while I was in college. And
you went to CMU, correct?
I went to Central, yeah. And my teachers that I was actually studying with were in Pennsylvania, and they were French and Israeli, and they said, you know, because I was considered really old, and they said, you know, the only chance you'll have is if you go to Europe. So I started in Germany, and then the next place I went to was Holland, and I met Giuseppe very shortly, just briefly, there, and I was doing all kinds of stuff, traveling, but eventually we met again. There was a beautiful dance center in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands, and that's where we met, where dancers from all over the world came. It was like the awesome place. It was really cool.
So you were an accomplished, you were obviously born in Europe, born in Italy, and danced throughout Europe. Mm-hmm. Then you guys ended up coming to Oscoda. And I have to be honest, when you say world-class ballet, you don't usually think of Oscoda. But you guys have been here for years now, and under all of our radar. How did you end up here?
Well, again, this was I've had family, has had roots here since the early 50s. My grandparents bought a little cabin, and then they had my mom and my aunt, and my aunt was a teacher at Oscoda schools, and then my family ended up moving here, you know, after my dad was still working. I'm from the Flint area, my dad was working there. But anyway, the summers, all growing up my whole life, the summer was come to Oscoda and go outside, and there you go, work and have fun, and that was it. And we came when we came here, because we were coming from Europe to vacation. First thing we said, oh, let's go see my parents, and we'd stay here, and then we'd travel to other places, and then
the rest of us go to Europe to vacation, but you came to Oscoda. Were you talked into coming here, or did you just love it here?
No, I just love here. I was looking for a quiet place, actually. You know, like you said, I've been in ballet world for so long, and I was a little bit tired of politics and all that, and I wanted to be in a quiet area, and this was perfect. And then I said, well, kids are everywhere, so why don't we give a chance to the local people to learn to dance, how to dance?
Yeah, I've read about Giuseppe. You're an accomplished, you're a worldwide accomplished dancer. And the fact that you guys are here, you guys could be anywhere on the planet, really, and be successful. The fact that you have people coming from all over the world to Oscoda, Michigan, for this kind of instruction and inspiration is inspirational for us.
Thank you, but I think that the main thing that people take from us is like we really believe in what we're doing. You know, it's not about, yes, of course, you have to make money for a living, of course, but it's not only about money. It's also giving your experience to someone else. You know, one day we will be gone, so it's nice to pass on the experience. You know.
It's always been really interesting because obviously he had a much different career than I did. He was in big companies, and my things were smaller companies, but our experiences were so different, but they complement. We're on the same page. We're very different. I mean, he's more serious and straight and narrow, and I'm a little more crazy. But well, I don't know if I don't know what that is, but I just know that it's always worked. We say the same things in different ways. And we both, you know, if it doesn't cut through one method, doesn't cut through to a student one way, the other one will. And then they can go, oh, and then it can translate. So it's just.
And you know, it's nice to see yes, we have international students that they come here, they perfect, and then they go on. And most of them now, they are principal dancers, they're doing wonderful everywhere. But it's also nice to see the local students, the one from here, that they can have a future in dance. You know, so if we were not here, probably those kids, they would never be a dancer. And there are some really incredible dancers here too. So we feel that this is our responsibility to give. Yes, as wonderful it is to have international students, it is also wonderful to see what you can do for the local talent.
Well, given all the places you guys have been all around the world affected, I'm just thrilled that you're here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you. Nice to meet you, finally.
Oh, shucks. Wait till you see me dance.
I'll be completely honest, I've never actually been to the ballet. But after this compelling conversation with Scott and Giuseppe, I feel completely compelled to do so. And their passion for both this art form and Oscoda was overwhelmingly contagious. So if you've got any budding dancers darting around your domicile, you might want to consider Oscoda and the Northeast Academy of Dance, because these two wonderful and worldly gentlemen are the real deal.
Hey everybody, guess what? Fishing in Oscoda is back! Actually, come to think of it, I don't think the fish actually ever went anywhere. Oh well. Oh, I got me a marlin! It's a big one!
Now, even though what I just said doesn't make much sense, it's true. Fishing in Oscoda is better than ever, and anglers from all over are grabbing their rods and reels and reeling them in record numbers. If you're a fishing fan, this is an area you need to plan to come to. And if you want to be in the know, in these parts, there's a place you need to go, and that's Wellman's Bait and Tackle. It's where owner Roger Byrne is living his dream by sharing his love of this slippery sport with the entire world.
There's something zen about fishing. I haven't discovered it yet because I'm a terrible fisherman, but we talked earlier and you were explaining how this really is your dream.
Yeah.
To have this shop. Why?
I mean, it started back in childhood. It was just the thing I fell in love with, especially salmon and steelhead fishing.
Yeah.
Dad took me out fishing once and hooked a big old fish, and oh no, you're fighting this one on your own type story, and landed it, and it was an accomplishment.
Now, why did you choose Wellman's? This is an institution, right?
This is a cornerstone in the salmon fishing east side, period. It's one of the originals, and anybody that's fished Lake Huron knows what Wellman's is.
Yeah, when you come in here and you see all this stuff that you're telling me is made by Michigan anglers, right?
Yeah, the large, well, this section is all Michigan fishermen that's living their dream, making Michigan tackle.
And a lot of the stuff you said is hand painted.
Yeah, these beads in this whole corner, these lures up top, they're hand painted. And this is garage, making their own paint booth production. This isn't, large scale running them through a machine. This is tedious.
Plus, they're people that know this area. They know the water. They know the fish. I don't know if it's by name. Tell me about the guys that do this.
For the bead section, this is what I would call the new generation myself, in that it's salmon, steelhead fishermen that love that traditional style, but they've found different ways. On the spoon side, that's more of exactly what we talked about a little earlier. These are tried and true since 1970 patterns that guys had been out there and tried every color, every combination, every shape, every size, and they've narrowed it down to a pattern and just the way it swims through the water. And that's why I like to use these.
So you guys sell bait here, obviously.
Yep.
But even if you're not a fisherman, people come in here for all kinds of edible fish stuff.
Correct. This store has evolved over the years. Yeah. It started in '72. And when fishing died, the base closed because there was the Air Force Base. They've always been able to find themselves and reinvent themselves to become. All their recipes on smoked fish are original. I've kept those and continued them. We've got a very large red meat selection that we get from U.S. beef that's aged. One of the better selections in northern Michigan for sure. And we try to be creative. We come out with different things. We've got a whitefish sausage. We've got a lake trout sausage. We do our own beef jerkies. We do our own hunter sticks. We smoke venison for customers during deer season.
Wow.
Yeah.
Any charters out of this area?
Yes. There's 2 that are original.
Yeah.
We're up to 5 now. Again, as the lake gets healthier and healthier, we're seeing an influx in that. Even local neighborhoods to us, Tawas, Harrisville, they're seeing increases in charter boat captains and fishing.
And with the lake levels being higher, it's easier now because the fish are closer.
Correct. And then in the river systems, there's charters for that as well. it's a different style of fishing, so it takes a different captain to learn that. So there are charters that do that as well. So if it's someone that doesn't like going out in the big water, has a tendency to get sick, there's an option in the river system.
Would you teach me how to fish?
Absolutely.
Really?
Why not?
Deal.
I'm telling you, Roger and this place are so legit that they even have a fish scaler in back made out of an old beer keg. And the fish cootery boards they make up here will be the absolute hit of your next post-fishing party. Like I said in the intro of the show, this is a fishing tale that's absolutely true. So instead of talking about the one that got away, make your way to Wellman's Bait and Tackle in Oscoda. They've got everything you need to fool the fish right into your freezer.
You know, there's this rumor going around that all the beaches on Lake Huron on the Sunrise side are really rocky and rough on your feet.
But the sugar sand beaches we found were pretty darn sweet. And as you can see, and your toes will soon feel, there are big and beautiful white sand beaches all along the Sunrise side. And the Oscoda area boasts some of the best. But so you don't just have to take my word for it, I stopped by the luxurious Huron House Bed and Breakfast for a conversation with owner and sandman himself, Al Heminger.
Al, I gotta tell you, I'm upset. And I don't get upset that often, but there's this misconception that on this side of the state that all the beaches are rocky, they're dirty, or they're cliffy. I've never seen more white sand beaches before in my life.
You're absolutely right. We have miles and miles and miles of sandy beach here that's really all accessible for various visitors and tourists that come up to Oscoda. I think the one thing that probably separates us from the west side of the state on Lake Michigan is just how many resorts we have here, as opposed to on the west side, most of it's just private homes. So guests that come to Oscoda, they really get a chance to come, relax, and hang out and be right on the beach.
And the resorts along here, you can find there's Sunkissed. Talk about some of the resorts, because there's everything from family to romance to everything.
Yeah, it all depends on what the tourist is looking for. If you want to bring your family up here, I think that's really probably the one thing that makes Oscoda unique is we really cater to families. We want to be that destination that generations continue to come to. I run into people all the time that when I mention Oscoda, maybe they grew up in the Midland Bay City area or Detroit, and when I mention Oscoda, they go, "Oh, I used to go there as a kid." And to me, that really is what summarizes Oscoda, is just being that generational destination for families to come and get away. It's almost a throwback in time. Yeah. You just don't see places like this anymore. Yeah. And we have a lot of places that cater to family getaways, Sandcastles, Sunkissed. I mean, there's countless resorts here.
Well, it's a four-season place in that you've got great hiking trails, great snowmobiling. The fall colors here are incredible. The canoeing that you can do up and down the river, Osaba River, is amazing. But yeah, you can't beat an Oscoda summer. And like you said, so many families come up here year after year after year because it's almost like it's a secret that we're telling everybody about.
Yeah, the locals might not appreciate you.
Right.
And I've noticed, I've been here 12, 13 years now, and I think the secret's starting to get out that, if you want to actually relax and not suffer from festival fatigue, you come to Oscoda. Yeah. And it's just one of those rare, untouched places that just hasn't tried to be something it's not.
Right. Yeah, I've got two friends that saw one of our earlier shows on Sunrise Side shows, two that came up here and ended up buying houses right on the water up here. So, yeah, that says it all.
And sometimes the Huron House, we've been victims of guests come and stay and then they buy. Yeah. Sandcastle Resort is a result of staying with the Huron House and then saying, maybe we'd like to own a resort. So we've had other guests that come up here and fell in love with Oscoda, and now are homeowners.
Yeah, we were at Desi's just yesterday filming, and there were two couples there that were up here looking for a house on the water.
Yeah.
I'm like, they figured it out. The
Yeah.
secret's out.
I like it. Like I said, you're not going to be a big fan with the locals.
So, Al, because we're two guys sitting on the beach talking about the beaches, does that mean we're the Beach Boys?
I hope not.
Well, obviously, the rumor you heard about all the beaches here being rocky is dead wrong, because we found enough beautiful, white, sunny sand to play beach blanket bingo, chess, Yahtzee, and even checkers. So go ahead, soak in some sun and silky summer sand on the Sunrise side real soon. And if you're looking for a four-season destination for your next UTR-type adventure, remember what I always say, you're supposed to go to Oscoda.
A visit to the Stahls Auto Collection will take you back to a time when cars were more than just a way to get around. A fantastic assortment of gas pumps, neon signs, and automated music machines dating back 150 years that must be seen and heard. Info at stahlsauto.com.